Welcome to the 3.1 Journal Vocab Notes and Practice Problems here. This starts on page 67. I believe it goes up to 70. This is 4 pages long. Most of these are 3 pages long. Remember, we're not doing explorations. Let's get this a little bigger here. Okay, we can find this information, page 126, page 128. Read that book, take a look at it. The more you read, the more you're going to learn. So don't skip those. Okay, parallel lines. These are two coplanar lines which do not intersect. Okay, they have to be in the same lines. Skew lines are what goes with that. So, two lines which do not intersect and are not coplanar. I didn't put that blank line in there very well, but that works as not coplanar right there. So they have some examples of that in the book. Just a second here. Here, I just looked up a little picture to show you right here. So these are our parallel lines on the left here. We can see them running through there on the bottom. Coplanar lines that don't intersect. They're using the box for the example here. Line CD and line BA skew lines. They don't intersect, but those aren't parallel. This is something you probably intuitively knew before. It's just adding a name to it. Parallel planes, two planes which do not intersect. That's like the top and bottom of your box, or the left side and right side of a box, or the front and the back of a regular box. Transversal, this is on page 128, a line which intersects two or more coplanar lines at different points. Why do they say different points? This would be two lines that's intersecting at two different points. Here, if they intersect, that's intersecting two different lines at one point. That's the difference right there. Corresponding angles. Pictures of this on the next page. They show some examples of these. A couple of pages down here, they give some nice examples of these. You can see this down there. Same relative position, same side of the transversal, same side of the two different lines the transversal crosses. Alternate interior angles, so that was that one. Alternate interior angles between two lines. Opposite sides of the transversal. I put here in the blue, this is something because it's not in the book. They're not adjacent. If they are adjacent, that would be a linear pair. I should say the linear pair is if they are adjacent. It gives you a linear pair, and that's a different angle relationship. Whoops. Alternate exterior angles outside the two lines on the different sides. Different sides of the transversal, which we call T. Consecutive interior angles between the two lines and on the same side of the transversal. So we'll look at some examples here. Again, a couple pages later, they got pictures of them down here. Corresponding. We can look at this. Angle 2, it's above this line. Angle 6 is above this line. T2 is to the right of the transversal T. 6 is to the right of the transversal. That's what they mean by the same relative position on there. Alternate exterior. They're exterior. They're on the outside. Here's your two lines. They're on the outside of those. Okay, that makes them exterior. T's your transversal. They're on different sides of the transversal. Now, it couldn't be here because that would make it a linear pair. Alternate interior, again, here's our two lines. Those two angles are on the interior. They're on the inside. They're on different sides of the transversal. 4 is on this side. 5 is on this side. That's alternate interior. Again, it wouldn't be this angle right here because that would make 4 and 5 a linear pair. Consecutive interior angles, I think I forgot to explain this one earlier. This is 3 and 5. They're interior, they're between your two lines. They're on the same sides. So let's try these examples I wrote up here. We got some more to do later. Identify the angle pairs. So that's what we're doing right here. I should have put a better direction on that. We've got vertical angles here. Okay, so vertical angles. Pause it, try to answer it. Okay, thank you for pausing it. This is angle 1 and angle 4 are vertical. I'd also have angle 2 and angle 3. So we still have the old angle pairs. Even though we have these new ones, you still have vertical angles and linear pairs. Now do your linear pairs. Pause it, try to answer it, then check it. Again, thank you for pausing that. I have angle 1 and angle 5 are a linear pair. Angle 5 and angle, whoops, I forgot my angle symbol. Angle 4, angle 2 and angle 6. Angle 6 and angle 3. So lots of linear pairs there. Corresponding angles. Okay, that's going to be the same relative position. Pause it, give it a shot. Don't worry if you make a mistake. Thank you for pausing it again. So that would be angle 1 and angle 2. Did you get those? If not, pause it again. Look at your other answers. Okay, next I got angle 4 and angle 3. So let me go back to 1 and 2. 1 and 2, they're both above the transversal. They're both to the left of those lines. Okay, so that works. Whoa, a little too much erase there. A little too much erase there. One more pair of alternate interior, you should have gotten angle 5 and angle 6 are corresponding. Again, they're both below the transversal. They're both to the left of the corresponding lines. Alternate interior. That's just going to be, pause it. Thanks for pausing. Angle 4 and angle 2. Those ones right there, different sides of the transversal, they're interior. Alternate exterior. Thanks for pausing. Angle 1 and angle 3. Those are my alternate exterior angles. Again, if you looked at, they're on the outside of the two lines, different sides of the transversal. Consecutive interiors. Pause it. Thanks for pausing. Angle 4 and angle 6. So those are our angle pairs there. Again, this is just what's in the book. It's just a repeat. It's not in color like it's in the book. But you got your M and N are parallel lines. M and K are skew lines. They don't intersect. They're not parallel. They're not in the same plane. M and N are parallel. They're in that same plane T. Anytime we have parallel lines, they're actually in the same plane. I don't know why that keeps coming up. So note, this is our symbol for parallel. So line M is parallel to line N. You'll also see us write things like line AB is parallel to line CD. We'll use it like that, but we use that for parallel. Don't forget, this is our symbol for perpendicular. Parallel line postulate. We don't use this a huge amount through any one line, L, and a point P not on the line. There's only one line parallel to this. So this is the only line. That doesn't mean it couldn't have some different names. I could call that line M. If I have this on there, that could also be line PA. Though it has two different names, it's still the same line. So don't confuse multiple names for the same as being different lines. Perpendicular postulate, same thing. I got a point. I got a line. Through that point that's not on the line, there's only one line that's perpendicular to that. We don't use that. Here's our angles, which we just talked about. These you really want to know. I can't emphasize how important these are. You get this section, the next two sections will be really simple. They're just using, the rules are based on these angle definitions. So get those, please, 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 please. Okay, we got some scrambled answers here. So I got them all listed out up here. Some of them have multiple answers. Think of each segment in the diagram as part of the line. Which lines are lines? So we got to contain point, I got it underlined here. We got to contain point B and appear to fit the description. Number 3, I mentioned we got no real rules for parallel yet. Just use your best guess. Lines skew to FG. So here's FG. They got this line at the top up there. So that's lines that aren't parallel to it, but don't intersect. I'm seeing this one down here. Geez, that little trapezoidal box type thing, kind of like almost like a litter box upside down. That one's going to be, so I'm going to have line CH, and then there's another line there. I don't see that answer on the top. I got to check that. Silly me, I forgot it needs to contain point B. That doesn't contain point B. So here's point B right there. So we've got this line, and this line that contain point B. Okay, so I want skew to FG. Well, it's not this line. BG intersects it. BA, geez, that looks like a parallel line. I'm going to go with BC right here. They got one other answer I want to note in here. So here's our answer for this one. And I'm noticing I got BC. Well, they also have BD. So they got another line in here. This is kind of weird. That's not shown on there. I'm not a fan of that, as I notice this right now. Because that also means, well, you know, they could have had BH. They could have had BE in there. And those would have been skew lines too. So I don't know why they included BD in there. I don't expect you to get all those ones that aren't drawn in the diagram. That's going to make this a little harder to check too. Lines perpendicular to FG. Again, it has to contain point B. There's only going to be one of those. But again, you got those same 3 choices. You got this line, you got this line, you got this line. I guess they're using this one too. I don't know what else. Parallel to FG. I think that's only going to have one answer. And planes parallel to FGH. So FGH, that's this back side right there. Is there a plane that's parallel to that? Well, we're just about out of time here, so I'm going to hit the pause button and end this. There's not a lot more in here. Yeah, I'm going to have to make a second video for this one. We can get by 5 and 8 without bigger explanations. 9 to 12, we are definitely going to need to take a look at.